A former PR exec claimed she stayed on guard anytime a Diddy party happened. My spidey senses were on high alert. Sean Combs aka P. Diddy was arrested in New York earlier this month following a federal investigation. The 54-year-old rapper and businessman is facing several charges including racketeering and sex trafficking and transportation to engage in prostitution. One of the biggest claims within the 14-page indictment is that the mogul held sex parties for years. Now, a former public relations executive who worked with Combs is recalling how she'd remain on high alert during his widely discussed shindigs. Per legal documents, Diddy held what have been referred to as freak-offs. It's been alleged that during these events, women were coerced into performing sexual acts and were recorded while doing so. Additionally, it's been claimed that drugs were also present at such functions. Vintage clips of celebrities talking about Diddy's parties have cropped up following his arrest. For instance, in a 2004 interview with Rolling Stone, Usher talked about witnessing various people engaging in sex and having orgies when he attended a party as a teen. TMZ recently released a documentary, The Downfall of Diddy. The indictment, which features interviews from a number of the Victory performers' former associates. Dr. LaJoyce Brookshire, a publicity veteran who worked with Diddy at his Bad Boy Entertainment label, was one of the people interviewed. While sharing her thoughts, she explained that her spidey senses would go off when it came to her former colleagues' parties. My spidey senses were always on high alert. And I know that there's no safety after a certain hour when you've got drinks flowing and people behind your back doing drugs in bathrooms, and 2 or 3 people walking out of a bathroom together, so could there potentially be? Absolutely. Did I see it? No. I never stayed at the party late enough to see. Dr. Brookshire, via the New York Post, asked if she sensed negative vibes, and she responded, "Yes, I sensed it." As has been mentioned, Sean Combs was known for throwing a variety of events, including all-white parties. Much of the speculation surrounding the alleged events should be taken with a grain of salt at this point. However, federal investigators have findings that would seem to indicate that sexual activities were indeed overseen by the Sean John founder. Back in March, federal agents raided Diddy's homes in both California and Florida, and at the time, it was reportedly that they were looking for documents, electronic devices as part of a sex trafficking operation. Just recently, it was revealed that 1,000 bottles of lubricant were found amid the raids. The Grammy winner's lawyer, Mark Agnifilo, addressed the lubricant, shooting down the notion that there were so many bottles and saying he didn't know where the bottles came from. Agnifilo also argued that if there were copious amounts of lubricant, it was because his client buys in bulk. After Puff Daddy's arrest in Manhattan, most of Famous Friends haven't spoken out on his legal entanglements. Public relations specialist Evan Neerman has since opined that the stars are intentionally trying to distance themselves from him, as not to turn the spotlight on themselves. One reaction, however, did come from Diddy's longtime friend Ray J, who said the music industry at large is still in shock over the situation and is merely trying to process it. Right now, Sean Combs is incarcerated at Metropolitan Detention Center in Brooklyn, where he's awaiting trial. According to recent reports, he'd been under suicide watch as well. Time will tell whether others might share comments on their purported experiences with Diddy and his personal activities, as Dr. Brookshire has.